Okay, hello? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, that's great. So nice to meet you, Trang. You can call me Gian. Okay?
Okay.
All right, that's good. And how are you today?
A little bit exhausted
A little
because
bit. Mhm.
I have a final exam on this morning, and it's quite really difficult, and I quite struggle with that. So I not feel really well, but I'm really willing to join this class.
All right, that's good to hear. So let's do our best to have fun for our IELTS mock test today, okay?
All right.
All right, so are you familiar with this kind of format?
Yes, actually, I studied IELTS for a while, so I know about the format, about the four skills too.
Okay, that's great. So let's talk about the three parts. So in this part, we have part one, part two, and part three. So I'll be guiding you throughout the test. And all you have to do is to check if I will be sharing my screen because we need a timer, right? Okay, I'll
All
share my
right.
screen if we need timer during the class. Okay. So I suppose you have the copy of the
The outline.
topic today. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like you to check the
I have.
vocab first if you have any questions.
All right. So wait for me a while.
Mm-hmm.
So let me turn on my camera. Um,
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Actually, I'm eating my lunch with my friends because after the final exams we have to hang out a little bit. So wait for me a while. I'm turning on the topic. Okay. Yes, I can see it.
Oh, you can see it now. Okay, that's great. Okay, so I'd like you to check the vocab in case you have any questions. Mhm.
Great. Um, Let me see. No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, so the words here, I hope you can use them because this kinds of words really have higher score when you use them, okay? All right. So don't worry, I'll be going through the class and as usual, the corrections will be given after, okay? All right.
Okay.
So just treat me as your examiner. So I wouldn't be a bit friendly for a moment. Okay, let's start with part one. So this is the speaking test of the International English Language Testing System, and the examiner is me. My name is Gian, and could you tell me your name, please?
My full name is Nguyễn Phi Thị Trang, and I'm originally come from Ho Chi Minh City, which is a big city located in Vietnam.
All right, and what should I call you?
You can call me Jennifer or Drang. It's up to you.
Okay, maybe I could call you Jennifer. Okay, may I see your identification, please?
All right, here.
Okay, thank you. That's all right. Now let's move on to the first part of the test. I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself, okay? So, Jennifer, I'll just give a few tips. Oh, for part one, I'd like you to answer maybe just as simple as you can, okay? No need to stretch out beyond your vocabularies. Just be yourself, okay? All
Okay.
right. So let's start with the first one. Let's talk about your hometown or village, Jennifer. What kind of place is it?
Actually, I'm living in Ho Chi Minh City. As I mentioned before, it is a very big city in Vietnam, and in this city is quite familiar with the skyscraper. And one of the tallest building is located here. Is Landmark 81. It has 81 floors.
Okay, that's great. And what is the most interesting part of your town?
Um, Actually, my town is not really close to the nature. However, I love the beauty of the hustle. I love the beauty of the hustling and bustling life here, and also I love the view, the spectacular view of the tall buildings and the skyscrapers located in the center.
All right. And what kind of jobs do people in your village do?
Just a minute. Mày gọi tao Ly. Mày gọi tao Ly. Okay, I'm back.
Okay. All right, let's
Someone just
continue.
told me so. It's be interrupt.
Oh, it's all right. Okay, again, what kind of jobs do people in your town do?
Um. So sorry. What
Uh-huh.
kind of job?
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Um. Actually, I really want to be an English teacher in the future, and I'm majoring in uh, English linguistics in a in a university that located in Ho Chi Minh City too, and I think that my major is gonna really helpful and for my prospective plans in the future and also my future career.
Mhm. Okay, that's great. And would you say that your place is a good place to live and why?
Yes, I would say that my place is really worth to live because if you're a person who like the busy life, the hustling bustling life of the city and the noises, you really love to live here. However, if you want to close to the nature, I suggest that you should choose another region to live.
Okay, that's perfect to know. And now, okay, we're done with part one. So thank you so much for your answer. Let's proceed with part two. I know you're aware that in part two, you will be given a topic card, a paper, and a pen, right? Okay. Do you have a paper and pen with you right now?
Um, yes, I'm having that.
Okay, that's good. So let me give you the topic, and the question is there. In part two, we have this one. Or maybe I could put it here in the chat box as well. Okay, so I will be setting a timer. I'll give you 1 minute to prepare. You can jot down notes in your paper. It will be very helpful if you do it in real life test. Okay, so make use of that, and let me show you my screen so you could see the time. After 1 minute, I'll give you 2 minutes to answer. Okay. All right. Mm, okay. Wait a moment. I'll start the timer. Could you see the my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, that's great. So the timer, you could see it right here on the right side. All right, so we're done with the time, and you may start.
All right. So the thing that I own that I found really important, really significant to me is my laptop. I own that laptop last year, and actually I bought it myself, so I'm really proud by owning that laptop. And like I spend almost my time daily to use my laptop to support my study and also my work, because nowadays we are still affected by by the global pandemic, which is COVID-19. So that is one of the reason why I spend most of my time on the laptop, and which is really I know that is really harm my eyes, but I cannot get out of that. And also, I have to say that why it is so important to me, because I have to study and work online. So without a laptop, I'm not sure that I can. I'm not sure that I can determine to achieve my goal successfully or not. So when I own that, I think that I think that not really support my study and my work, but also I use that for my entertainment. And moreover, I usually use my laptop to chit chat with my friends at night, and we gonna discuss about the projects and the assignment that given by the lecturers. I have to say, I have to admit that my laptop is one of my integral part. As I mentioned some reasons before, and also that is part of my um, part of my effort.
Okay, so I think you have hit the time, so that's great. And you've mentioned you've owned this kind of laptop. Okay, thank you. All right, let's continue. And now we're moving on with the part three. Okay, as you know, in a normal test, part threes have questions related to part two. So you will discuss the topic more, maybe excessively, you have to expand your ideas as well. And it's time to showcase your vocabulary in this part. Okay. So I'll be asking series of questions. So let's start. Okay, for part three, what kind of things give status to people in your country?
Um, Actually, this is quite a really hard question for me, but I think that maybe I have to mention about the accommodation. People in my country usually based on the accommodation, like a big house or a small house, or you're living in an apartment. But what kind of that is a high end or just an affordable apartment. So I think a big house is an affluent location, and if people who got the stable and high salary, they gonna live in a really big house with a luxurious uh, luxurious furniture, and if they have that kind of accommodation, they can prove that they have the high status in life with te- technological advancements in science, and also yeah, they can prove that their status in the society is quite high.
Okay. And have things changed since your parents' time?
Um, Actually, I have to say that a lot. They are like my parents usually say that since now the things dramatically change after years and decades. Like before, they said that they are really struggle when they commute to school because they have to walk through the rivers and the mountainous areas, which is cause huge difficulties for them. However, now I can have the streets that really flat, and I can commute to school quite conveniently. And also I have the technological marvels, which is really modern and top notch that can support my study and also my work as well.
Okay, that's great. And what makes us buy things we do not need? And why is it so?
So to be honest, as a as a girl, um, I really I sometimes don't understand me so well because I usually buy things that not really necessary for my life. Actually, I kind of prioritize the thing that I like or the thing that on sale more than the thing that I need. For example, as at these digital ages. So the technology has like boost dramatically, and when I search for an item on my smartphone on my online platforms, they kind of pop up a lot of products like the related products or even unrelated products, and that's why I usually buy things that I don't really that I think that is not really necessary for me, but the packaging, the price is on sale, and also some celebrities that I like, they advertise for that products. So that are the reasons why lead me to the lead me to that decisions.
Okay, that's great to hear. And I'll just ask maybe additional follow-up question. So let's see, what was the recent thing you bought online?
Yes, I can hear that.
Uh-huh. Okay,
Yes.
one more time. What is the recent thing you bought online?
Actually, it's my phone case. Because I just bought a new phone, so I have to buy a new phone case, and that is the thing that I currently buy just only yesterday, and it just delivered last night. So it is just a small case that made from the plastic, and it's really useful, and also it can protect my phone from the, the damage.
Mhm. Okay, and how was your purchase? Were you very satisfied with the quality?
Yes. Actually, I just bought that phone case that is just made of plastic, so I don't really expect it much. However, when I received that phone case, so with that price, it's just only on sale, so it's just only 28, 20, 28 Vietnam dong, about just only about $1.50 for a plastic phone case, but it's blown my mind. The quality is really good, and also the pictures, the images that printed on it really vivid and really clear.
Okay, thank you so much for answering my follow-up questions. Okay, so I think we're done with the IELTS mock test, and you did great, Trey or Jennifer. Okay, so
Thank
before I give any specific instructions and suggestions, okay, how do you think you did for this class? Were you quite satisfied with your performance?
you. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
copy. Actually, I wanna use more I wanna use more sophisticated lexical ranges.
Mm-hmm.
However, sometimes I feel some vocabularies that it's not really fluent when I put it in the sentence, and also I wanna get a high score in in that part. So I really wanna use more like
Mm-hmm.
more advanced vocabularies.
Okay, thank you.
So
So there.
yeah, I
Mhm.
feel totally satisfied.
All right, that's good to hear. So the reason why I was asking you about your performance because I want to hear like what areas you're really proud of and some areas you want to fix or improve, okay? All right, so thank you. I think that you're quite satisfied with your performance and me too. I am amazed with your confidence too, Jennifer, okay? So now I'll spend the time discussing about your performance on the three parts so we could see which areas you can work on. All right. Okay, let's start with the first part. So, the first part is the part where the questions are very basic, right? They will ask you where you live, what your name is, your hometown, your job, and so on. Okay, with this, I have no problem with your performance because you were able to choose your words appropriately. Like you were, although you were using idioms at the beginning, okay, it was appropriate with the situation. So I think that's okay. All right. You've mentioned with vocabulary, you want to use as much as sophisticated words, right? Mm-hmm. That is definitely okay if you apply it on maybe part two and especially on part three. Okay, with part one, maybe you could just let go of yourself, try to feel the atmosphere of the test so you wouldn't feel really pressured for the next parts, right? Okay, let's talk about your introduction earlier. What kind of place is it? I've asked you. So you have used lots of words to introduce your idea, like as I have mentioned before, I heard you say this one. Okay, that's great. It's a sentence starter. It makes you sound more natural to explain your idea. Okay. With pronunciation, okay? So there is a word that we need to work on would be your vowel sound, such as a. Skyscraper.
Skyscrapers.
Yes, very well. Okay, be careful with the A vowel sound, okay? And I love your vocabulary. You've mentioned close to the nature and hustling and bustling, right? Okay, all right. And you've mentioned about the location of your maybe town or place. Let's see. Maybe I could suggest you add some word like is. That is located. Then that located. Mm-hmm.
That is located.
Uh-huh. All right. So it's just a minor error, but you can work on it, right? Okay, let's start and continue with the next questions. Oh, here. Another thing is if you want to get close to or be close to the nature, right? Okay, here. If you want to close to, okay, be careful. If you want to get close to or be close to, it will sound better. Mm-hmm. Okay, and let's continue. I think I have for part two, let's continue. Here you are starting to open up your vocabulary, and it's excellent. So you've talked about a lot of things about your laptop. Okay, so I want you to check on this part. I owned this laptop. Okay, I can only hear the word own. Okay, be careful with the ed sound. Owned,
Owned.
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 Mm-hmm. Yes, because it will be a bit a minus point because this is an important verb tense, right? You're talking about the past and it's a verb tense. So be careful with the like D sound and the ending. Owned this laptop. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. Okay, next. Let's see. I think I have you have mentioned things about the laptop hurting your eyes, right? Okay, so I have no worries with this, but I could suggest a better sentence for that. You can say, I know it could be harmful for my heart, for my eyes.
All right.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so overall, okay, this is not just for part two, but it could be for part one, two, and three. Okay, let me see. Take frequent pauses. Okay, so I love your attitude, Jennifer, because you're very excited to share your thoughts, right? Okay, it's good. Your fluency is actually amazing. Like, if I ask you a question, you can come up with answers right away. Like, it's natural for you. If I ask you something, your mouth suddenly opens and it speaks a lot of words. Okay, but remember to take frequent pauses. Okay. All right. So may I ask you, Jennifer, for answering part two and part three, like, do you follow any specific patterns on how you answer a question?
Um, Actually, I'm not because
Mm-hmm.
before I study IELTS, my teacher usually share with me the experiences that you should have the introduction, then the body, and the
Mm-hmm.
conclusion. So I just
Mm-hmm.
follow that pattern. But for the part three, it's really based on my ability too. So I just don't follow any pattern. I just like come up with the answer and then say the answer and then I select the appropriate vocabularies for the
Mm-hmm.
answer and then I add it in.
Okay, that's good. Well, at least you have a background about having an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, right? Okay, although it does not apply to all of the parts, like it's not always you can use it, but it's a good guide so that if there is a time that the examiner will ask you a question that you're not really sure of, right? So it's good that you will have a way to expand your ideas without getting lost. Okay, it's like an instant a pattern that you're following. Okay, that's great. Okay, let's continue. Let's go on and let's see. Okay, so in terms of your maybe grammar, let's talk about grammar and accuracy. Okay, so this is something we need to work on. There are a couple of sentences with in which I could suggest to maybe be careful with having consistent verb tenses depending on the situation, if it's past, present, or future, right? Hmm. Okay, like for this one, if people who got, maybe you can say people who get luxurious things. And the next one is they are really struggle, or you can say they're really struggling.
Struggling. Right.
Struggling. Yes. Okay. So these are minor things you can look out. So because every point counts, right? Every
Thank
point
you.
counts. Okay, let's see. What else should I be adding? Okay, let's go with intonation. I think this is also under pronunciation, right? So I've mentioned earlier for your pronunciation, you have to work on your vocabulary, your vowel sounds. I'm sorry, vowel sounds, strong A sounds like skyscraper, and the next one is intonation of some words. For example, this word. How could you pronounce this one more time, please?
Uh, you put it in the
In
chat
the
box.
chat box, yes.
Let me check it.
All right.
Oh yeah, I- the
Mm-hmm.
the vowels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, necessary,
Okay, this
necessary,
one. All right, be careful. Like, if you will pronounce it, it's necessary. Necessary.
necessary.
Excellent. Okay, very well. So now let's summarize all of the things we got for today. Okay, oh, before that one, do you want to ask anything? You want to ask anything?
Uh, no, actually.
Okay, so let's sum up your performance for today's class. So let's talk about fluency and coherence, okay? So first, your fluency and coherence, as I've mentioned for you, is that you are able to speak at length without pauses, without pauses or loss of coherence, like your ideas are outflowing. It's great, okay? That's good. And let's see, that's why I suggested that you'll have frequent pauses. Okay. Okay, let's proceed with the second part, which is lexical resource. Basically about your vocabulary and how you use them well in the sentences. Okay, let's see. You have wide vocabulary resource, meaning you can come up with idioms and expressions naturally. Okay. All right. And I could also see you're able to paraphrase effectively, like you've mentioned the word important, and then after that sentence, you've mentioned about the word significant.
Significant.
See? Okay, it means that you are coming up with different words. You do not use the same word over and over again, right? Okay, that's the perfect time you can know about synonyms, right? Okay, let's talk about grammatical things. Okay, that's we need to be careful. There are some errors, minor errors during the course of your sentence. You can mix simple and complex sentences. However, be careful with the consistency of your verbs. Okay? Okay.
All
And
right.
for the last one, the as I've mentioned earlier, pronunciation, be careful with vowel sounds and intonation. Okay?
All right.
All right. Are you good? How are you feeling?
I feel really thankful and grateful that you point out my errors, so I can I can complete it or improve that later.
Okay. When are you planning to take your IELTS test, by the way?
Um, Actually, I just want to study, but I haven't have a plan. But 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 I really want to take an IELTS test on maybe in January next year. Because
Okay.
I have to take the IELTS test for my graduation. So it's required 7 point for overall. So I have to study quite hard, and yeah, hopefully I can reach that achievement.
Okay, of course you can. With your current performance, I think you have a great chance to score a higher band in IELTS, okay? Are you sure you don't have any questions?
Yes, I don't have any question more.
Okay, that's great to hear. So it was my pleasure to meet you today, and I hope all the reminders and suggestions I have, you can take note of them and use it as your reference in your next IELTS mock test. Okay, you did great today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye,
Goodbye.
Jennifer. Thank
Have a
you.
nice day.
Have a nice day.